Special Ops veteran Aaron Cohen, retired LAPD Lieutenant Mark Evans, and Fox News contributor and former FBI Special Agent Nicole Parker. It's great to have you on. It's a sad night to do this. Nicole, I want to start with you first. The FBI Director, Kash Patel, posted this on X, quoting here, "The FBI is investigating this shooting as an act of domestic terrorism and hate crime targeting Catholics." Is he right, Nicole? Is this a hate crime in your opinion?
I think that's an understatement. I think this is a hate crime and a lot more. And I appreciate that Kash Patel is stepping in and saying, you know what, let's look at this as a federal crime. Obviously, the shooter is deceased, a self-inflicted gunshot wound. But it is so important that the FBI steps in and discovers how this happened and investigates it as a hate crime or possible domestic terrorism.
Yeah, it's amazing to me because I want to put this up. The Minneapolis police chief, he gave a couple of news conferences today, Aaron Cohen, and some pretty compelling information along the way. He said the following here. I want to get your take on this.
We're also aware of a manifesto that the shooter had timed to be released on YouTube. This manifesto appeared to show him at the scene and included some disturbing writings. That content has since been taken down with the assistance of the FBI, and it now remains under active review by our investigators.
So he clearly planned this. He had the manifesto going live on YouTube at a certain time. Clearly there was some thought that went into this, Aaron. I mean, and nobody was tipped off.
This is 100% domestic terrorism. I'm going to tell you why, Trace. This is ideologically motivated, this was tactical, and this was intentional. 80% of these domestic lone wolf terrorists post some type of grievance online. Matthew Crooks, 900 posts between 2020 and 2022. The D.C. shooter, 900-page manifesto. 100% domestic terrorism, and I bet you, in addition to that manifesto, there's a very significant breadcrumb daisy trail leading back who knows how many weeks, months, or even years. This is the new face of terrorism. This is no longer post-9/11 terror organized Al-Qaeda, Trace. These are radicalized online lone wolves, and the United States is 10 years behind these threats. We need to catch up.
And I wanted to get your opinion on the breaking news here because the First Lady, Melania Trump, just called for more, and this is quoting here, preemptive intervention when it comes to IDing school shooters. It's kind of your bailiwick, Aaron.
Trace, as you know, correct, 100%, and she's 100% correct. I am now about to launch GIDEON, America's first ever AI threat detection platform, built specifically for law enforcement. It scrapes the internet 24/7 using an Israeli-grade ontology to pull specific threat language and then routes it to local law enforcement. It's a 24/7 detective. It never sleeps, and it's going to get us in front of these attacks.
Would it have picked up on this, do you think?
100%. I wish my program would already be up. We're not launching until next week. I've got a dozen agencies on board, Trace. I just unloaded a major Northeast agency with over 2,700 sworn. This is America's early warning system.
Lieutenant Mark Evans, it's great to have you on here. I mean, the principal of Annunciation Catholic School said the following here about being inside the church.
Within seconds of this situation beginning, our teachers were heroes. Children were ducked down. Adults were protecting children. Older children were protecting younger children. And as we heard earlier, it could have been significantly worse without their heroic action.
I know your experience. I've covered these school shootings now, sadly, for 27 years. Anytime we know that there are adults in the room, in the schools, in whatever rooms that kids happen to be in, they always tend to fare better, Mark.
Yeah, I agree with that, Trace. And you could tell by the response that they had done some type of training, and they were able to get kids down and try to control the kids to help them be safe. But I would also say, as a first responder, when you're at scene and you have 300-400 kids at a school, it can be very chaotic for the first responders because you have parents intervening. Parents are trying to get into the school and want to protect their children, of course, and law enforcement's trying to wrap their hands around what's really going on. and trying to assess the situation so that they can protect the kids. And there needs to be a good working relationship between the parents, the school, and the law enforcement.
And we have seen it so many times where there's not that good working relationship. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said the following here, wrote it on X, Nicole, to you. This deranged monster targeted our most vulnerable, young children praying in their first morning mass of the school year. This deeply sick murderer scrawled the words, "For the children, where is God?" and killed Donald Trump on a Rifle magazine. I mean, the whole thing is we're also learning now there was some anti-Semitism in some of these writings, Nicole. And the question is, does the hatred for Trump and Christians kind of play into this investigation?
Absolutely, it plays into this investigation. This was part of his motive. This was part of his grievance. I mean, this is a sick individual. And in research that I was doing prior to coming onto your program, he wanted to target someone like President Trump, Elon Musk, some sort of executive. And he spoke very specifically as far as targeting children. He said, I want to go in where there won't be any parents, and I want to kill as long as I can. And I don't even want to say the words that he said on your program because it is so disgusting and evil. And I can tell you that we have to get to the bottom of this. And I have such respect for what Aaron Cohen is doing, because if we can detect this in advance and we can identify who these individuals are, then hopefully we can stop these shootings from happening at the rate that they're occurring in our country. It is unacceptable what we're seeing right now. We cannot maintain shootings at this level and at this pace. It is violent, it is disgusting, and for them to target children in the most vulnerable spot at a church is wrong.
And the common denominator seems to be mental health in all of these things that I've covered for 27 years, Aaron. I mean, are you surprised the shooter did not go inside the church and went outside the church and opened fire?
No, he wanted to do as much damage in the shortest period of time. And if he was outside or outside of a window, from the tactical perspective, he's able to engage. He's got cover. He can dump rounds. He's got an AR there. I saw a dozen magazines in that video manifesto that he posted. I understand there was something on Reddit also. But, Trace, I want to say this. What's more important to me than these manifestos, which we're all great at finding after the fact, the big deal here with this AI, where we need to get with law enforcement, and why I'm so obsessive about getting this thing out, I'm less concerned about the manifesto. I'm more concerned about who these guys are becoming. They all start in that yellow, that basic grievance. But once that starts to escalate into targeting language, into tactical planning, what we saw in the manifesto, how do we get those breadcrumbs before we catch that shooter? America's got to catch up, and it's got to happen quick. We're 10 years behind. But I think we can do it. It's just, it's time to hit the gas.
What would you add to that, Lieutenant? Because it's a good point here, but, you know, police working these things, how do we get one step ahead?
Yeah, I would say that we need to have a lot more collaboration with other people like Aaron and the work he's doing, and being more proactive. But there's also limitations when we might know information that may not be actionable as far as like prosecuting or making an arrest. It's something that you have to be aware of, and you have to start looking at the bad actor, so to speak, and then maybe surveilling them, things like that. But the problem is there's such a shortage of policing across our country. You don't have the resources to do that.
We see it every day. Mark, Aaron, Nicole, thank you all.
Let me take a minute and tell you guys about something incredible that I'm building and why I need your help. It's called GIDEON. It's the first real-time AI-powered threat detection system for law enforcement and schools. It scans the open web, social media, Discord, Reddit, gaming chats, and flags violent signals before they explode. We're talking about radicalization, grievance buildup, martyrdom language, the exact warning signs we've seen before Uvalde, Buffalo, and the D.C. embassy murders. And right now, there's no system catching it. So I'm building it. And I'm asking you, my audience, the people who care, to help me fund it. Every dollar goes directly to engineering, law enforcement deployment, and getting this into schools and across law enforcement agencies across the country. And so if you've ever asked, why didn't they stop this? Or how come they didn't stop this? This is the answer. And if you're one of those serious guys out there watching this and you're a fan of the show, the ones with the capital, access, reach, the network, and you want to partner with me to seed this mission, I want to hear from you. Reach out to me. Click the link below and reach out directly if you're one of the big dogs. I'm building the system that stops the next attack before it starts, and it's called GIDEON. Appreciate you guys.